Everybody, and we will get started today. Welcome to General Session, January 29th. Whoa!
Quick.
This month is going fast. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Clerk of Courts, you're up.
Resolution number 49-19, resolution authorizing the settlement of a claim for damage to a 2018 Ford Explorer, Franklin County Clerk of Court Division vehicle in the amount of $661.90.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sean Reeder, Fiscal Officer for the Clerk of Courts. On December 3rd, 2018, the Clerk's County vehicle was involved in a minor accident with a COTA bus that failed to maintain an assured clear distance. COTA has agreed to compensate the county $661.90 for property damages. Approved to form by the Prosecutor's Office, Fleet Management, and the Prosecutor recommend accepting COTA's property damage settlement agreement and release. The resolution authorizes the property damage settlement and for the County Administrator to sign on behalf of the Commissioners.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 49-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes. Commissioner
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 49-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
County Engineer.
Resolution number 50-19, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5543.06, setting Thursday, March 21st, 2019 at 6 p.m. at the Boathouse at Confluence Park for the annual meeting of the Franklin County Engineer between Township and County authorities.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of Engineer Robertson, my name is Fritz Crozier, and with me today is
Carla Marable.
Commissioners. This resolution sets the time and place for the annual meeting of the Franklin County Engineer between Township and County authorities. The 2019 meeting will be held on Thursday, March 21st at 6 p.m. at the Boathouse at Confluence Park.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of resolution 50-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 50-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 51-19, Trans Associated Engineering Consultants Incorporated consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer in providing traffic engineering services, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $50,000.
Commissioners, this next resolution seeks approval to enter into a consultant services agreement with Trans Associates to assist the county engineer in providing traffic engineering services such as signal timing and traffic counts. Trans Associates is a local consultant and was selected via the qualifications-based selection process.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 51-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 51-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 52-19, report second of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Reynoldsburg New Albany Road at Welding Development Improvement, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $30,003.
Commissioners, our final resolution seeks compensation for property owners abutting the Reynoldsburg New Albany at Weldon Development Improvement Project. The project is located in the northeast part of the county in Jefferson Township and will add a northbound left turn lane and two-way left turn lane in the vicinity of Wooleye Creek Drive, which accesses the Weldon development. We negotiated with the property owners and compensation was based on praised fair market value.
Okay. If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 52-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 52-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board of Elections.
Resolution number 53-19, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations in order to provide the budgetary allotment for meeting February payroll and other obligations.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Leonard on behalf of the Board of Elections. This is again the February budgetary allocation in addition to the personnel services, the board staff and payroll. We have additional $362,000 in materials and services, and our staff, fiscal staff, have worked with our budget analyst, Gary Collins, to identify the items that are, some of them are annual expenditures that have to be paid this month. Many of them are simply monthly allocation of normal office activity. And again, there's nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of the operation of the Board of Elections. And in addition, we continue to work on the development of a communication plan, both a earned media component as well as a paid media component that will help us, again, resolve that issue and be able to move forward.
Sorry, I was in Washington on Thursday and missed briefing. Where is the communication plan? How far along are we with that?
I've gotten to initial draft that I've got to still refine it. The individual I was working with was out with a death in the family for a while, and so was waiting for that person to get back to work on further refinement of that process. So,
And our two Republican board members still have not budged in terms of their willingness to vote for the advertising of the election.
I've not discussed it with them, but I know our deputy director has, and again, it's the development of the communication plan that hopefully will move this forward. We have a meeting scheduled on February 19th, and we anticipate being at least starting to present that and get it to them early enough so they can give it thorough consideration before the 19th, so that we can actually have a decision on the 19th.
And we have done this, and I know Gary's in the back of the room. This has been put in the Board of Elections budget for how many election cycles in a row now?
Commissioners, at least I think going back to 2006, that in terms of even number of years with the advertising prior to last.
There have been, the only odd year election cycle, municipal year election cycle that we've had funding was 2011, and that was a year in which the communication plan focused on early vote as well as on voter ID requirements. So I don't recall exactly where the General Assembly was in terms of the implementation of voter ID requirements, but I'm assuming that there was that was a new factor around that time frame, and that was what prompted the additional advertising in 2011 was the voter ID requirement.
So the only change last year when they decided not to do this last year, the only change was in their minds or their stated opinion was that there hadn't been a change of location in some time. But now this year we have brand new voting machines.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
And barring any other questions, I respectfully request approval of the resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 53-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
No.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 53-19 has been adopted.
All right. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks. Sanitary engineers.
Resolution number 54-19, a resolution authorizing a water supply revolving loan account application to the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and the Ohio Water Development Authority for the construction phase of the Little Farm Subdivision Waterline Replacement Project, Phase 1.
Good morning, Commissioners. Stephen Renner with the Sanitary Engineering Department. This resolution is seeking your authority for us to apply for the funds for about $4.4 million for a partial of the construction for Phase 1 of this project.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 54-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
No. I mean, yes. I'm sorry.
Little joke there.
Heart stop.
Levity, everybody. It's just kidding.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 54-19
Oh.
has been adopted.
Thank you for the cardiac treatment, Commissioners.
You got his heart pumping. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 55-19, review a petition to annex 88.66 acres from Madison Township to the City of Canal Winchester, case number ANX 31-18.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jenny Snap, Assistant Director, Economic Development and Planning. This resolution is to consider an expedited Type 2 annexation petition of 88.66 acres from Madison Township to the City of Canal Winchester. The area to be annexed includes property at Bixby Road, which is 2 parcels. That's southeast corner of Bixby and Rager Roads. Petition was filed by Eugene Hollins. He's the law director from Canal Winchester, and he is in attendance if you have any questions. On behalf of the property owners, Willis Alspach, Joan Alspach, and David Benjamin Alspach. 28.1% of the site's perimeter is contiguous with Canal Winchester, and the city passed resolution number 19-001 on January 7th, 2019, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved and a statement regarding incompatible land uses. This petition meets all statutory requirements of Section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
Mr. Hollis, do you have anything you want to add? If you do, you can come up to the microphone.
Unless the commissioners have a question, we rely on staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 55-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 55-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 56-19, resolution authorizing a contract extension with Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated for floodplain review in the amount of $25,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Matt Brown, Planning Administrator. This resolution is to authorize a contract extension with Stantec Consulting Services to provide floodplain review services for the Economic Development Planning Department. A request for qualifications was issued in 2016 for a floodplain review consultant, and Stantec Consulting Services was awarded the contract in 2017 by resolution number 52-17. The contract was for a 1-year period with the option to extend for 4 additional 1-year periods. The current contract extension request will be the second allowable contract extension and will be in effect from February 1st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020. The contract extension amount has been budgeted and is not to exceed $25,000. Pending any questions, staff requests your approval of the resolution.
If there are no questions, move for passage of 56-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 56-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 57-19, resolution authorizing Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department to sponsor applications, sign documents, and enter project agreements on behalf of Franklin County for program year 2019 Recycle Ohio grant programs offered by the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency.
Good morning, Commissioners. Josh Ross, Senior Program Coordinator with Economic Development and Planning. The purpose of this resolution is to seek authority to sponsor and act as a pass-through entity for the Recycle Ohio programs administered by the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency. The application deadline for that is this Friday, February 1st, and we anticipate sponsoring 3 applications this year.
Right.
If there are no questions or comments, move for passage of 57-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 57-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 58-19, working agreement between Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District and the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department in the amount of $44,000.
Commissioners, this resolution is to authorize a working agreement with the Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District to provide stormwater and natural resource services to the Economic Development Planning Department. These services help to ensure that new development projects protect water quality. The Soil and Water Conservation District will be compensated $44,000 for the services, and the working agreement will be for a 1-year period. This will be the 12th year that the county and the Soil and Water Conservation District have formally entered into an agreement for these services. And pending any questions, staff requests your approval of this resolution.
Great.
Okay, if there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 58-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 58-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 59-19. Resolution authorizing a guaranteed maximum price amendment number 3 to modify the original contract agreement with Elford Incorporated to provide construction manager at risk services, including construction services associated with the construction of a new forensic science center in the amount of $7,091,219.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director of Public Facilities Management. Joining me today is Dr. Bill Lafayette, owner of Regionomics LLC, who will provide a summary of the economic impact studies he conducted for the 2 resolutions before you today. Also for this first resolution, Randy Duncan, project executive for the Corna-Kokosing Elford construction team, will provide brief comment. Pizzuti Solutions owner's representative is also in the audience. This resolution modifies the original contract agreement with Elford Inc. and guaranteed maximum price amendments number 1 and number 2, which were previously approved in 2018, and authorizes a GMP amendment number 3 to provide construction services associated with construction of the new Forensic Science Center. Execution of this GMP amendment number 3 awards the final balance of the construction work for this project, including miscellaneous metals, general trades, roofing, metal panels, fireproofing, glass systems, flooring systems, painting, lab casework, lab and morgue equipment, and site improvements. As with the prior GMP amendments, Elford will hold all the subcontracts associated with this amendment. Randy Duncan of Elford will now provide additional brief comment on this amendment, including SCBE and local participation.
Good morning, Commissioners. We're very happy to report our bidding results. As you know, the bidding market is very, very busy. We bid 12 packages with this last and final GMP. We received 39 bids for the 12 packages, so we were really happy with that. More importantly, we're really happy to report that we were on budget as well. SEB participation on this particular package was really outstanding at 36%. Which gives us an aggregate percentage on the project as a whole at 22%, which is absolutely a great result in this bidding market. Local participation was also very good. About 41% of the firms have a Central Ohio corporate presence, and about 75% have a consistent or an office in Central Ohio as well. So all the categories performed very well, and we're incredibly happy with the results.
Thank you.
And next, I will turn it over to Dr. Lafayette to present his summary of the economic impacts. Then, pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of guaranteed maximum price amendment number 3.
Great. Thank you.
Happy New Year, Commissioners.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Doug.
I have analyzed this third amendment as well as the previous 2, and I've provided you memoranda for each of the 3. The total impact of this third amendment is around $7.2 million in increased Franklin County output, including the spending on supplier goods and services and the spending of wages by workers' households on household goods and services. Direct and indirect household earnings increased by about $1.8 million, and about 40 jobs are sustained on average by all the direct and indirect activity. About $4.2 million in value is added to Franklin County's GDP. Small and emerging business enterprises account for about 164,000 of total output, 41,000 in household earnings, and sustain 1 net job. Total impacts to date for all the 3 amendments total $37 million in output, $9.3 million in household earnings, 201 jobs sustained, and $21.7 million in long-term value added to Franklin County's GDP. Around 13% of that total impact can be attributed to SEBEs. And as always, all these impacts last for as long as the construction lasts.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Lafayette. the only question I have is, do we plan to do either final project analysis that kind of cumulatively brings all these numbers together, or is it better to look at it on an annual basis? Is it better to look at it project-wise or annual? I guess is the question I'm asking.
I would look at it on a project basis. So we have discussed my doing a final wrap-up report on both this and the correction center, taking into account the actual spending as opposed to the aspirational spending, planned spending that I'm analyzing here.
I think it'll be important, and I'm sure my colleagues agree with me, but I think it'll be important to really begin to share these numbers on the aggregate with the community, because it's really the sort of untalked about impact of the work we do as Franklin County and what we do to the economy and how every decision we make. A lot of people I can remember said during the election, they would say, "Why are you building a jail?" And there's nothing, they would say the negative things about that, what it implies. And I said, there's no question you have to look at those things, But on the other side of it, there's a whole commerce element to this that is a positive. That whenever you do large projects, it means that there are going to be people who are going to be employed, and there's a multiplier to that is just a part of making this community a strong community. And so those numbers will be really important, I think, at the conclusion of the project, because I think it's one of the really positive things that you can talk about around building such significant facilities. So that'd be interesting to have.
These numbers impact every household in Franklin County, and we can't lose sight of that.
Right. And I think you're right, Commissioner Boyce. People don't really have that sense. Many people in our community don't have that sense that we tell the story in the way it needs to be told. So.
Well, consider, if you would, Kevin, Commissioner Boyce, since we've been here, the impact, the amount of building. We've built a courthouse, we've built a ballpark, we've built an animal shelter, we've built now the jail, we've reconstructed the other courthouse. JFS, a Board of Elections building. The Forensic Science Center.
It's been constant.
It's been one project after another. And when you look at these numbers just on this correction center, and then you multiply that, by the number of projects that we've done, the impact that we've had on this economy is relatively significant. And not to mention, what's happened with the projects that we've been a part of that we haven't even driven. Things like the Scioto Mile, things like the downtown hotel, things like the Vets Memorial thing, all the other things that we've been a part of that we haven't driven. And so, Franklin County government and the things that we get into, and the things that we're a part of are pretty enormous. And then the things that the Economic Development and Planning Department gets into. We are a major driver of the local economy, and
and throughout the county. In the townships and everywhere throughout the county. So thank you for helping us quantify the investments that we're making. It's very helpful.
And thanks for bringing that up, Kevin.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 59-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 59-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 60-19. Resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Johnson Controls Fire Protection, LP, to perform security electronics activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center in the amount of $9,388,214.
This resolution awards a contract to Johnson Controls Fire Protection, LP, to perform security electronics activities associated with construction of the new corrections center. Johnson Controls has a local office in Dublin, Ohio. 3 bids were received, and Johnson Controls was the low bidder. Johnson Controls' local electrical subcontractor, the Superior Group, is signatory to IBEW Local 683. Johnson Controls has has committed to 12%, approximately $1.13 million, in diversity participation from 2 firms on its SEBE utilization plan. 15 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak, and I will now turn it over to Dr. Lafayette to present his summary of the economic impacts. Then, pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract agreement.
The total impact of the Johnson Controls bid is around $15.1 million in Franklin County output. Direct and indirect household earnings impacts total $3.8 million. An average of approximately 80 full-time and part-time jobs will be sustained, and there will be $8.9 million in long-term value added to the county's economy, which represents an increase in Franklin County's GDP. Of these totals, the amount due to the participation of SEBEs totals $1.4 million in output, $360,000 in earnings, an average of 8 jobs, and $838,000 in value added. Impacts to date are $247 million in output, $61.2 million in earnings, 1,200 jobs sustained, and $144 million in long-term value added. Around 22% of that total comes from and through SEBEs.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 60-19.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 60-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 61-19. Resolution authorizing a contract extension for case management services with Southeast Incorporated through the fiscal year 2015 Justice and Mental Health Collaboration and the fiscal year 2018 SAMHSA Medical Assisted Treatment Grant Programs in the amount of $77,099.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. The resolution before you asks for a 1-year contract extension with Southeast Incorporated. Through this contract, we get a full-time 40-hour-a-week case manager specifically to work with the Ladies in Our Pathways program. And this would be paid for partly out of the JMHC grant that expires at the end of September, and then the remainder of the funds out of the SAMHSA grant, which runs through 2021.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 61-19.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 61-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 890-18. Resolution authorizing a contract with Cancer Bridge LLC for a concierge cancer support program for the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program in the amount of $49,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jody Lease, Assistant Director of Human Resources. This contract is with Cancer Bridge. Cancer Bridge provides telephonic access to oncology nurses and physician experts in cancer. And these are folks that are associated with OSU the James. It is free of charge to our cooperative members and their family members as well. And the service is not intended to direct care to OSU the James, but rather to provide a source of information when you're facing a diagnosis such as cancer. You have a lot of questions, you're looking for direction, and so this is just one resource that our members would be able to turn to in those particular instances. So pending any questions, I respectfully request approval of this resolution.
So before you move, so anybody can go to any doctor in any of the medical systems and still take advantage of this?
Correct.
Service.
Yes, the intent is not, they're not going to, if one of our members contacts Cancer Bridge, they're not going to try to funnel them into the James, what they will talk to them about is, as their diagnosis, they will talk to them about the importance of second opinions.
Right.
They will talk to them about the importance of trying to find providers that are associated and practice the evidence-based medicine of the National Cancer Institute recommendations. So, but there is no funneling into OSU, and there is no need to be receiving treatment from an OSU provider in order to access the services.
Okay. I think that's important for our
Very.
employees to understand.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 890-18. What?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a number last year and it keeps the same.
I got you. Sorry. Second, 890-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 890-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 62-19, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $44,195,034.50.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Kuesper, Director of Purchasing. This resolution follows the trend of the last few weeks where agencies are opening new POs for existing contracts and to encumber funds to pay for their goods and services needed for this fiscal year. The resolution before you requests for approval of 316 purchase orders. 23 of these purchase orders totaling over $1.9 million were awarded to small emerging businesses. Of the full purchase order total, that represents 7.3% of the purchase order volume and 4.5% of the total purchase order cost. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability funds by the county auditor. If any questions, I recommend their approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 62-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 62-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Commissioner resolutions.
Resolution number 63-19, authorizing the execution of the lease termination agreement, quit claim deed, and any other documents necessary to consummate the proposed transactions in this resolution to transfer real property to Mount Carmel Health Systems Incorporated, successor in interest to Hawks Hospital of Mount Carmel, in connection with the retirement of all of the outstanding $15 million hospital bonds dated as of July 14, 1958.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jason Como with Mount Carmel Health System. The resolution before you involves one parcel of land around the Mount Carmel West campus. It currently houses the Mount Carmel College of Nursing, and if I could take 10 seconds to brag a little bit on the college. I believe we remain the second largest college of nursing in the state of Ohio, behind only Kent State, with about 1,300 students. This parcel of land and the college itself will be the centerpiece and cornerstone of a transformed Mount Carmel West campus that will have a new emergency department, and we believe will serve as a national model for urban health care in the future. The resolution before you will be the first step in that revitalization process and is key to the next steps, and I'd be happy to answer questions.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 63-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 63-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Resolution number 64-19, resolution appointing the Franklin County Apiary Inspector for 2019 in the amount of $12,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Schillerich with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution is the annual appointment of the county's apiary inspector. This resolution would reappoint Brad McClincy as the apiary inspector. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
We should probably remind the public that every county in Ohio has an apiary inspector. And that's
At least one.
at least one.
At least one.
And that's a Ohio Revised Code requirement, correct?
There's authorization in 909.07 of the Revised Code.
Yeah. So anyway.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 64-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 64-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 65-19, resolution appointing Kenneth N. Wilson to the Board of Directors of Experience Columbus.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 65-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 65-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 66-19. Resolution reappointing members to the Franklin County Community Corrections Planning Board.
Commissioners, this is the annual resolution we do every January, appointing or reappointing members to the Community Corrections Planning Board, and the next resolution is its companion board. We sent out a memo earlier with the recommended changes and/or additions. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of the resolution.
Well, if there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 66-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 66-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 67-19. Resolution appointing and reappointing members to the Franklin County Criminal Justice Planning Board.
Again, Commissioners, pending any questions, would recommend approval of this annual resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 67-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 67-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 68-19. Resolution reappointing Jane Wide and Chip Spinning to the Ohio Children's Trust Fund Central Ohio Regional Prevention Council.
Commissioners, these reappointments are the two Franklin County Board of Commissioner representatives to the 13 County Committee to deal with a grant associated with programming having to do with child abuse and neglect prevention efforts. Pending any questions, would recommend these reappointments.
And Eric, before we do a motion, we've got a speaker on this resolution, James Wynn, representing the Bread Organization. Mr. Wynn, if you would step to the microphone and give your address. You've got up to 3 minutes to speak on this resolution, and we would appreciate it if you would, we'll have somebody keep the time.
Okay.
And welcome.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good morning.
Good
My name is
morning.
James Wynn. I live at 2889 Cool Air Way, Columbus, Ohio, 43231. I'm a member of the Bread Organization, and I support the resolution that is up for vote. The reappointing of Jane Wide and Charles Spinning to the Ohio Children's Trust Fund Central Ohio Regional Prevention Council. Bread has met with both Ms. Wide and Mr. Spinning and find them to be strong advocates for our children. As we met with professionals like Ms. Wide and Mr. Spinning, we learned how the lack of affordable housing affects our children. Not having affordable housing available impacts those members of our community who are struggling to keep a roof over their head. They're spending a disproportionate amount of their income on housing as they strive to have and find a decent place to live. I've lived through this affordable housing crisis with my own daughter, as she saved her money so she could move out of our house and gain her independence and live with dignity. As a responsible member of the community, she had found an apartment in the Easton area that had a safe and clean environment. After living in her apartment for about 10 months, she received a notice the ownership of her complex had changed, and the new owners would be raising the rent by 30% in her one-bedroom apartment within 2 months. She couldn't afford the additional $300 a month increase. The job she was working was not giving out 30% salary increases. So she was forced to move back to our house. So we have a young lady who was trying to live independently, forced to find other housing options due to no fault of her own. My son also struggled to pay his apartment rent in the Kinney Road area, and his rent would be increased every year, and we often had to help him as he was just trying to survive, and he just reached a point where he also had to move back to our house. Within the Bread organization, we are aware of the county's poverty study. Currently, there's just not enough solutions in place to affect the 54,000 low-income households targeted by the Affordable Housing Alliance of Central Ohio. Increasing the conveyance fee would lead to millions of additional dollars per year to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. As you're finishing that study, we would challenge you to be sure to increase the conveyance fee by the maximum $2 allowed by state law. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn.
If there are no comments or questions, Move for passage of 68-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 68-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 69-19, resolution appointing Nathan Keelan to the Franklin County Infrastructure Bank Loan Advisory Board.
Commissioners, this appointment is to replace Wilma Yoder on the Infrastructure Board. As she, many of you know, she was a longtime employee of Morpsey, who retired at the end of last year. And Nate does the work on her behalf now at Morpsey, and he would be a logical and good addition to the group. So, pending any questions, would recommend approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 69-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady? Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 69-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Eric. Do we have any journalizations?
There are none today, Commissioner.
Okay, with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.